Back when I was a child, back before life removed all the innocence, my father would lift me high and dance with my mother and me, and then spin me around till I fell asleep. And then up the stairs he would carry me, and I knew for sure I was loved. If I could get another chance, another walk, another dance with him, I'd play a song that would never ever end. Oh, I'd love, love, love to dance with my father again. When I and my mother would disagree, to get my way, I would run from her to him. He'd make me laugh just to comfort me, and then finally make me do just what my mama said. Later that night I was asleep. He left $1 under my sheets. Never dreamed that he would be gone from me. If I could steal one final glance, or just one final step, one final dance with him, I'd play a song that would never ever end. Love, 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 to dance with my father again. Sometimes I listen outside her door, and I'd hear how my mother cried for him. I prayed for her even more than me. I prayed for her even more than me. More than me. I know I'm praying for much too much, but could you send back the only man she loved? I know you don't do it usually, but dear Lord, she's dying to dance with my father again. Every night I fall asleep, and this is all I ever dreamed. Lord, that's all I'm asking. Let me dance with my father. Oh, to dance with my father. Oh.
And good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, depending upon where you are around the world. I am Marcus Holmes, the love activist, the facilitator of the Love and Stuff community, and I want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. Whether you're watching us via Restream on Facebook Live, via the Love and Stuff community page where we're emanating today, or the Marcus R. Holmes page, if you're on LinkedIn Live or Twitch TV or YouTube events, or where Love and Stuff Passion Guy is live on IG Live, take a moment to click share and tag someone in what I believe will be a wonderful tribute to fathers. You know, they say about $28 billion, that's what they say, was spent on Mother's Day this year, and mothers are so deserving. But if you know, like I know, so are fathers. And while our experiences with our fathers are imperfect and varied, they are worth celebrating and honoring. And so I hope that you will join me today. I put on my 70s flair shirt because it brings me back to a time in the 70s when I was a baby, of great times of family and my dad and different folks. And I wanted to just bring some of those great memories forward. And I hope that you will do the same. So whether you are able to spend time with your dad today, or if your dad, like mine, is on the other side, resting as an angel over the balcony, shouting, "Go ahead," and cheering you on, today is a day worth celebrating. And I understand it's tough because many people have recently lost their dads. Many people have not had the best fatherhood journey with their dads. And that's okay. It's okay because you are here and you are still able to take from those relationships, or the absence of some of those relationships, some powerful lessons to bring forward into your life and to fill it up with love. It's not an easy task, but my friends, it's certainly a task that you can do. And I hope that you will join us in doing that today. So I hope that wherever you're watching, that you'll take this moment out just right now. Click share. Tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, 5 of your closest LinkedIn connections, 5 of your closest YouTube followers or followers on IG, to connect them to a Father's Day tribute that will be spectacular. And at the end, there's a special tribute to a few of the folks in and around Love and Stuff community who recently had to say goodbye to their dads. And so just a fitting tribute that we will close with. So you don't want to miss that. You definitely want to stick around and click share to tag others to join us. We had a wonderful time on Friday, and I just want to say that there are a couple of prizes left from our movie night on Friday. If you missed it, of course, you missed the prizes, but there are 2 that you may get a chance to win today. And so you need to stick around. Yep, on Father's Day, we're going to be giving gifts out, and hopefully to some great fathers as well. And some of the gifts might be a gift you want to add to your Father's Day gift that you've given, or maybe to that special dad, that surrogate dad, that bonus dad, stepfather, that uncle, that pawpaw, that papa, whomever may have served the role as father figure. Let's celebrate him today and drop his name in the comments so that we can come to know his name and shout out his name so that others can hear. We're going to start out our tributes with a person in and around our Love and Stuff community, Monique Thomas, who talks about her dad. She's affectionately known as Momo, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her dad and the wonderful relationship. Any girl dads out there who want to shout out their dads, give us some likes or loves in the comments as we prepare to hear from Monique Thomas in a beautiful tribute to her dad. I hope that it will help you think about your dad. Here is Monique.
Happy Father's Day to every one of the fathers out there. I just want to take a few minutes to give a special tribute to my dad, Mr. Curl Country Boy White. I could go hours and hours and hours telling y'all how awesome this man is, but I put it in a couple of few minutes. I'm reminded of how in the Bible, Jacob was given an order, and the order he was given was to get up and go and build an altar. But Jacob took the word that God gave him and said, let me get my house in order first. Not realizing that actually what he was supposed to do was follow instruction. Go and build the altar, and that would set his house free. I think about how my dad got up and made sure that he aligned himself with the perfect will that God had in store for him as a father as a man, as a husband, as a friend, as an uncle, as a granddad, and everything else. And he took that assignment and took it to heart. I watched him get up and go to work every day. I watched him preach 2 and 3 times a week and still make it to Ford Motor Company 5 and 6 days a week. I watched him go up and down the highway driving that truck for Ford and still got back home in enough time to teach Sunday school on Sunday morning and preach on Sunday morning. I thank God every day for my superhero, my awesome and amazing twin, my dad. It's never a dull moment when he's around because he is pure comedy at its best. But I wouldn't trade him for anything. Dad, I thank you. I appreciate you. And I salute you for loving me, even in the most unlovable moments. I salute you for teaching us, even when we were hard headed the most. I thank you for being who you are right now and taking care of your household like never before. I thank you for loving and showing me how a man should treat a woman. I thank you for being the first man to open a door for me. I thank you because I now know, even more so after I've had my own children and they're grown, that it is true that the parents know what they're doing, even when it seems like they don't know what they're doing. I thank you and I salute you on today. Happy Father's Day, Pop. I love you and appreciate you for definitely being the wind beneath my wings.
What an awesome tribute from Monique Momo Thomas to her pops for him being the wind beneath her wing. Come on, give us some emojis that represent your response to that beautiful tribute that Momo has done. Thank you, Monique. We really appreciate your tribute. Beautiful tribute. We are here celebrating fathers, and there are fathers that are present and have been present with us and are still present, but there are some whose fathers aren't present, and they are living on the reflection and the memory of those great dads. Click share right now so that you can invite someone to join in this great celebration as we queue up the next celebration on his dad. And this is from Linwood True McKinney. I hope that you will tune in for this tribute. Make sure I'm in the right spot. All right. So many videos. Okay. All right. We're going to cue his up right now.
What's going on? I just want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there on this wonderful day. I just recently lost my father, and it's been very, 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 very hard on me. Very, very, very hard. No, I don't know. I'm not the only one going through this. I just want to say, not alone. You know, they're not gone. My dad talks to me, I hear him. I just try to live my life according to what he wanted to see me do, the things he wanted to see me achieve, and just making him happy, making him proud, and being a father, the best father that I can be, that I know how to be to my kids, you know, and just being the best man in general. You know, it goes deeper than being a father. You know, it goes to being a man, being a father of civilization. You know, being a father to everybody that you come in contact with, man. Being a barrier of truth, a holder of his word. You know, so it goes back being a man, not just a father. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a dad to be a father, man. Understand what I mean when I say what I say. So, once again, happy Father's Day. And let's continue to build each other up, man. Because, you know, even if the world don't, we got to do it ourselves, man. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. And let's get it together. Let's keep it together.
What an awesome tribute. Thank you, Linwood True. Just bringing the true sentiments of your heart about your dad, and our thoughts are with you in the loss of your dad. And as you're right, many of us have experienced it and we can make it. And thank you for those sage words that you share with us. Give me some likes or loves if you're enjoying this tribute. And if you want to drop the name of your father or dad in the comments, please do that so that we can shout out your dad and include your dad in what we hope is a fitting tribute to his life and legacy. And I hope that you will take a moment and click share. And if you haven't already, at the top of your screen, there should be a bell. Ring that bell so that you can be notified of future events that the Love and Stuff community does sponsor. We're live emanating from the Love and Stuff community page, but via Restream, we're able to reach out and cross post to our friends at LinkedIn Live, our friends at IG Live, our friends at YouTube events, Twitch TV, and the Marcus Our Homes page. All of you, we're certainly hoping that you will join us by clicking share and having someone join in this wonderful event. Leon Thompson, absolutely. And stick around, Mary Thompson. I think you will be pleased at what we have coming up soon. All right, we're going to continue on. Sometimes the father is not present and his absence informs our presence. I'm going to share a video with you from James Gibson, who is in and around our Love and Stuff community, about his experience as a father.
Good afternoon. It's Father's Day. I get to spend a day with my kids and grandkids. Father's Day has changed so much. It's actually becoming a great day to a young man who grew up without a father. And so, to who's watching this, Marcus and his crew, I am certainly happy for the day. Father means so much. Father in the Greek really has no meaning, but they've attributed it to Abba, which means source. And so being a father makes you the source. And so it makes you feel like that you have to make sure all your kids are good, your grandkids are good. And so I welcome that role. I am thrilled that God established me to be a father, to be a man that wanted to be a father and wanted to make sure his kids was raised right, raised good, and as I always say, raised without a memory that didn't have me in it. I was at every baseball game, was at every cheerleading practice and track and basketball practice and all of that. And so to all the fathers out there, certainly I want to say happy Father's Day to you. It's our day. I even saw a couple of people selling things on the road today. So it's stepping up. It's coming our way. Hopefully the restaurants are full. Hopefully you're getting a good meal today. Hopefully somebody cooking for you and somebody spoiled you with some gifts. That's more than just some socks and a tie, but we'll take the socks and the tie too. And so to everybody that's watching, happy Father's Day. I hope all my fathers, I hope you get everything you want. And if you don't, just buy it for yourself because you got that loot. Have a great Father's Day.
And thank you for that, James Gibson, who shared from his own personal experience how the absence of a father has propelled him, has catapulted him into being a very present father. And so even if your experience has been varied or imperfect or absent, it can inform you to be an awesome dad. And so thank you for that, James Gibson. We appreciate it. I'm again going to ask you to click share, whether you're watching on YouTube events, Twitch TV, LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, the Love and Stuff page community, where we have emanated today, and IG Live, that you will click share and tag someone in this tribute. But just like Mary Thompson did, drop the name of your father or bonus dad, stepdad, your uncle, your pawpaw, your papa, whomever stepped in the place to be a surrogate father for you. Drop his name so that we can speak his name in tribute to his great legacy and great life. I'm going to keep it moving. We're going to go to our senior associate producer, J. Gerald Harvey the fourth, who talks about his dad. And I think you will enjoy this tribute. And if you are enjoying these tributes, please click share and tag someone who might experience these tributes, who might be wondering whether or not they should call their dad, or today missing their dad. This might be just a little bit of inspiration for him or her to keep going throughout this journey.
Good morning. Listen, we're celebrating Father's Day today, and as we celebrate, I'm reminded of my father as a bridge builder. My father had the capacity to bring people together, whether they had different opinions, different ideas, they could even have different motives, and he'd sit them in a room, and when they came out of the room, they were on common ground and moving toward some solution that they had came up with. It's amazing to me the way that he did it. Even at his memorial service, uh, at the repast, there was a couple of pastors that actually got into a minor scuffle who didn't like each other. But those the type of people that, and those the type of things that my father would be the bridge builder for. So I want you to understand that even on this Father's Day, I encourage every father to begin to be a bridge builder. If you don't have a relationship with your children, I encourage you to start building that bridge back towards having that relationship. Whatever it takes, build that bridge. Whatever it takes, make that solution happen. Whether you're in your child's life physically or not, you're having an impact. Why not have an impact the right way? I encourage you, I love you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Senior Associate Producer J. Gerald Harvey IV, and that wonderful moment about your dad and building bridges. What an awesome lesson that I think we can all put in our resources and tools to work to build bridges. We are live on the Love and Stuff page in the Love and Stuff community, which is a wonderful place to be. If you haven't taken a moment to check us out, make sure you go to that page and do two things. Click follow and click the bell at the top. That way, whenever events are happening, you can be notified of those wonderful events, and it's a wonderful community. We're emanating from that page today, though we're cross-posting to the Marcus R. Holmes page on Facebook, to Marcus R. Holmes on LinkedIn Live, to the Love and Stuff Passion Guy page on IG Live, to HR Passion Guy on YouTube events, as well as Twitch TV. We're shouting out fathers today because they deserve an amazing bravado about the life and the work that they've done as fathers. Maybe not perfect fathers, but definitely a reflection of God's love manifested in the world for you and me. Drop the name of your dad in the comments. We'd love to shout out his name. And we'd love if you do one more thing, click share and tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, 5 of your more popular friends, 5 of your YouTube event followers, connections on LinkedIn, followers on IG Live. Click share now and have them join us in these tributes. Our next tribute is from a coach who is now living out west, but his shout out is all the way to the east side, all the way to the east side of the maybe Midwest. He is shouting out all the way to Detroit from Wichita, Kansas. This is a tribute to his dad, brief tribute to his dad from Ulysses DeShazer.
I'd like to give a shout out to my dad, Ulysses DeShazer Sr. in Detroit, Michigan, all the way from Wichita, Kansas, yo, Junior. Just want to say I love you. Happy Father's Day. Keep it pushing. You might not be kicking as high, but you still kicking. Love you.
See, your tribute might be brief, short, and to the point, just like that. But it's important that we raise our voices and that we share with our dads and let them know while we can, if we can, what they have meant to us and what they mean to us currently. Thanks, Ulysses, and thanks for the work that you're doing to mentor other young men in the Wichita, Kansas area, both in sports and in education. I'm sure that trickled down from your dad, and he is as proud of you as all of the people that are connected to you. Keep up the great work. We're going to continue to roll right along. And one of our associate producer who has a new show on in the Love and Stuff community, Kamal Williams, is giving a tribute to his dad. And I think you will enjoy this tribute. You should click share right now to have some folks join us in this tribute to dads.
Hello, Love Stuff community. My name is Kamal Williams, and I'm coming to you today with a living dedication to my father, Renzi Williams. I am very glad and honored to be able to give a tribute to him, seeing that he's been a great father to me in all my years of living. He has taught me all the things I need to be as a man and as a human being, and I'm very proud to know that I had his tutelage and continue to. I can still to this day give my dad a call and say, "Hey, Pops, what you think about this?" And he will always give me an honest, clear, and concise answer. I'm just very proud to be his son. I am his third of 5 children, and probably by the time you see this today, we will be presenting him, even though I'm half a country away, with a great gift. We got together and got him one of those pictures we can send it in and have him mocked up like a king, and that's what we did. He's King and Renzi of our family. We call him Pops affectionately, and I'm just glad to be able to say Happy Father's Day to him today. Not only to him, but to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. It's a blessing to be a father, and have a great day.
It's a blessing, as Kamal says, to be a father, and a blessing to have had fathers like Renzi Williams, King Renzi. I believe I pronounced the first name correctly. Salute to him and to you, both great fathers in and around the Love and Stuff community. Of course, Kamal Williams is our newest talk show host. He and Felix Holmes in Sports Talk with Felix and Kamal doing an outstanding job. Thank you so much. We're halftime into the show, and you don't want to miss the special tribute that is still coming up to fathers. You don't want to miss it. Among the many tributes, we've had some people in and around our Love and Stuff community who have had to say goodbye to their dads. And saying goodbye is a tough thing to do. I do understand it. And while each loss is unique, there is a common bond that your mortality is put into check when your dad leaves what I call this earth school. And so I hope that if you've had the love and power and comfort of a dad, that you will relish that and that you will pass that on to your children, or if you don't have children, some other child needs to know what your dad passed to you. Again, we are celebrating dads here today. I hope you will click share, whether you are on Twitch TV, IG Live, YouTube events, LinkedIn Live, or here on Facebook Live, from which we are emanating. We are celebrating dads, and we're halfway through our great celebration of dads. And we want you to keep the celebration going by clicking share, tagging 5 of your closest connections, followers, or friends, and dropping your dad, stepdad, bonus dad, uncle in the comments. All right. I am going to, here at halftime, share a little bit from The Gratefulness Journey Every Day. This is a book that I have authored, and in part, it speaks to part of my relationship with my dad, and certainly it tells you a little bit about my dad, and certainly in the future writings you will find out more detail about my dad. And so I'm going to read a little excerpt of that as a part of my tribute as we prepare to go into the next the second half as a tribute. This section on page 28 is called The Light in His Eyes. My dad, Herbert Clark Holmes, was a soldier who served in the Korean War. He was honored as a prisoner of war, but the prison he lived in longest was the disillusioned world to which he returned after the war. His job at General Motors was not available, so he sometimes worked 2 jobs to provide for a family of 7. In my formative years, my mother worked part-time. I later learned that she would take a few years off after having a baby, then return to part-time or full-time work. My dad was a neat, clean, handsome, smart, and funny man, embittered by life and the church and the systemic racism he experienced. He wanted the best for his children, and often told me that I was as smart as anybody in the world and that everybody put their pants on one leg at a time. Damn, excuse the French, my daddy responded to hearing that my sister had passed away on the hazy golden Sunday morning of Father's Day 2008. He already knew what I was going to say. Daddy had a gift of discernment. He would say, God told me before he showed you, or watch and see. I know you don't believe it, but I already done seen it. What he was saying in his own inimitable way was that God is never surprised. And if you pay attention, you won't often be either. Well, she's in a better place and position than you or me. That day, I saw the light go out of my dad's blue eyes. The absence of that light seemingly led him down a path to never see another Father's Day again. And so I hope that you will purchase the Gratefulness Journey every day and read more about my journey. It starts some interesting conversations around journeys and dads, but there are so many lessons that I could share that my dad shared and so many sayings about my dad. I'm grateful for the dad that I had who passed away in 2009. And many of those lessons today are more relevant today than they were at that time. Happy Father's Day, Herbert Clark Holmes. Rest in power. We're going to go back to our tributes. I hope you will click share, get our numbers going again, resurging again. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, that you'll take a moment out to click share and tag someone to enjoy this wonderful Father's Day tributes of people in and around the Love and Stuff community who have shared from their hearts some great things about their dad. We'll move on to one of the most popular Father's Day videos we thought we would repeat. Ivo Jackson tells a poignant story about one of the last memories of her dad. And I think if nothing else moves you to pick up the phone today, which is one of the things we hope that you do if you are estranged from your dad, that you will say, I need to pick up and give him a call, because you never know when it will be the last time that you'll have the opportunity to speak with your dad. So I hope that you will click share and listen to Ivo Jackson.
Hello, and happy Father's Day, Love and Stuff family. My name is Ivo Jackson, and I'm here today to honor my father, the late Lonnie Thomas Sr. When I think of my dad, I think of a uniquely talented and insightful individual. And he was unafraid to have unpopular opinions way before that was cool, like way before the internet. He voiced very unique opinions and had interesting perspectives on the world. But they were full of wisdom, and if you were listening, you kind of knew that that guy was on something. That was my daddy. He wasn't perfect, but he was perfectly special. And he tried to teach us to be unafraid, to do the same, to be perfectly special, and not to mind who doesn't like it, you know? So going with the theme of being perfectly special, I want to tell you a story about the last Father's Day I got to spend with my father in person. It was in 2004. I was a newlywed. I had just gotten married a couple months earlier. And we knew this might be one of the last Father's Days where all of his children could be together. So I hopped on the Greyhound, came to Detroit from Grand Rapids, and we were gonna all spend Father's Day together. But since I rode the bus, I took my wedding ring off and I put it in an inside pocket in my carry-on, because my wedding ring is nice. You know, I wasn't about to be victimized. So I get to Detroit, my mother picks me up, and as I am putting my bags in the trunk, she's fussing about something. And I had my carry-on, I had to put it on the ground to do something with her, for her, I'm not sure what even, because we were in a bit of a tizzy. And so when we got in the car and pulled off, we're talking, and we're on the lodge, almost to the house, and I realized my ring is not on my hand. And in fact, my bag is not in the car. We had left it in downtown Detroit, on the street, in front of the bus station. So you can imagine my panic. I just got married. I've already lost the ring. It is very nice. My husband's gonna kill me. And so I'm crying. And my daddy, who at this point is 74 years old and trying to enjoy his Father's Day with all his children in the same place, says, I'll go get it. And we said, no, Daddy, it's okay. We turned around, we went downtown. It wasn't on the street, obviously. We go to the lost and found in the bus station. No one had turned anything in. So I am weeping at this point. We get back home. We tell him what happened, and he said, I told you, I'll go get it. And we were like, Daddy, it's gone. We got to figure out what we're going to do, make an insurance claim or something. The ring and the bag are gone. He said, no, they're not. I'll go get it. How? It doesn't matter how. I don't know how. I'll just go get it. So to make a very long story short, about an hour and a half later, my father came back with my carry-on bag, with my wedding ring in it. To this day, we have no idea what he did, who he spoke to, what prayer he prayed. But I needed my daddy to save me. And so he made a way, because that's what good fathers do. Even when they're not perfect people, good fathers make a way. And he was perfectly special. And he knew it, and he wasn't afraid to just go out there and put it to work on my behalf. And so I want to wish all the fathers a happy Father's Day and encourage you to be Superman for your kids. Go above and beyond. Be perfectly special, because you can.
I love it, and I hope that you do too. That's just what fathers do. They are perfectly special, not perfect, but perfectly special to fit every situation that life brings to us. And what a wonderful tribute, Ivo Jackson. And it's one of the most watched tributes that we've done here for Father's Day. Thank you so much for that tribute. It's always a pleasure to share it again. We are live from the Love and Stuff community. You're joining us. You should click share right now to tag someone to join in these wonderful tributes that we have from people who are celebrating their fathers that are living, some whose fathers have gone on, some who didn't have the opportunity to see their natural father modeled out before them, but were able to take the absence of his presence and make something wonderful in their lives. And just as you just heard, if you were just joining, Ivo saying that her daddy, she needed her daddy to rescue her, and he did. Click share wherever you're watching, be it on Twitch TV, YouTube events, Facebook Live, the Love and Stuff community from which we are emanating, or LinkedIn Live, or IG Live. Click share right now and tag someone to join us as we continue with these wonderful tributes. We're going to another tribute from two brothers about their dad and granddad. Listen to Robert and Andre's tribute to their dad and granddad. You're watching Love and Stuff, and I hope that you will click share and tag some folks to join us.
Two. All right, so listen, it's real simple right here. It's my brother Andre Holmes, Robert Holmes.
My brother Robert.
So Holmes family, we love you guys. Want to send a major tribute out to our dad, still resting well. Jefferson Holmes, we really loved his presence, and he's giving that down to his sons, down to the grandkids. What you got to say, Dre?
Hey, I want to give a shout out to our grandfather, Joseph Holmes. And here's what's interesting. So Robert bears the name from Daddy Joe. So this is Robert Joseph Holmes, and I happen to bear the name for Daddy Jefferson Holmes. So I'm Andre Jefferson Holmes. And, you know, we got to tell you, without their leadership, guidance, and their love, we wouldn't be the men we are today and be the fathers we are today. What you don't get to see is our camera person happens to be my daughter, and we're continuing to try to pass on what it means to be a strong father. We're going to do all we can to continue carrying on the legacy of the Holmes name, being the fathers that we were designed to be, made to be, and trying to elevate and pass on whatever good knowledge and wisdom we have to the future generations. So mad love to Pops, Jeff Holmes. Mad love to Granddad, Daddy Joe, Joseph Holmes. Mad love to, we can't neglect our brothers. We got to give them some love too. The other brothers aren't here with us right now, but we got Ivan Holmes. We have
Anthony Holmes, Quentin Holmes.
Exactly. Other great men, great fathers. So we want to make sure we give them some love and show them some respect and props as well. So much love to everybody. Thank you for allowing us to be the good men we are today, and for pouring into our lives so that we can display how to be great dads, man.
Absolutely. Love you, man.
Hey, I love you too, man. Mad love.
Shout out to Marcus Holmes.
Marcus Holmes. Love you, cuz.
Take care.
So those are some strong genes, right? Must be some strong genes. And thank you, cousins. What a wonderful tribute to your granddad, who was my dad's brother, older brother, and a tribute to your dad, Jefferson. So thank you so much. What a wonderful tribute. And I have the pleasure of bringing a live guest on. Now, she's saying, oh my goodness, I don't want to come live. You can just hear my voice. But she is a beautiful person, and I wanted her to share her tribute to her dad live. So I appreciate her coming and joining us, and she is going to be live right now with me. Hello, Carolyn J. Cole. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Marcus. How are you?
I am good, and you look beautiful as ever.
No,
Yes, you
no,
do.
Marcus.
Yes, you do. And so thank you for joining me live on this live. Most of the others have pre-recorded content, but I often had the pleasure of hearing wonderful stories about your dad and meeting your dad. Can you share a little bit about your dad, Cleveland Cole, who was a wonderful and well-noted musician here in the Midwest, here in Detroit especially? Share some information. You might shift your camera a little bit on your face. I know you don't want us to see your face, but you got to get it over a little bit more.
I'm on my phone, so it's little okay. Is that better?
Go to your left, I'm pretty sure. To your left. There we go. That's better.
No, I'm trying not to show all of me. Face is bad enough.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I feel like, sorry, Marcus, I'm trying to.
That's okay.
My phone. I feel like I had a great dad, one of the greatest dads there is or was. Yes, my dad was a musician, singer, but my dad was more than that. He was a dad. And growing up, I'm only girl. I had two brothers, and my dad really showed my brothers how to be men, how to attend to their wives. And I keep moving it wrong. I'm sorry. And for me, my mom nicknamed my dad, that's your lollipop, because my mom said I felt that my dad could do no wrong. I don't think it was that bad, but she said I would never seem to get mad at him. I get mad at her, but didn't get mad at him. But being a daddy's girl, that's probably why. But my dad was a very down to earth, compassionate, and jovial type of guy. We had a lot of fun growing up. My dad played games with us inside and outside the house. My dad always provided for us very well. I didn't know that we were poor, or not really, I'm not saying poor, but not well off. Just a mid, kind of what you call a regular salary family, not rich or anything. I wouldn't have never been able to tell just how my dad treated us, and my mom for that matter. But there was nothing that we thought we wanted. Now, my dad was raised in Arkansas. You have to realize my dad was raised in Arkansas with two other brothers, and it was kind of
skimpy there. His dad would have to leave and go else places to find work. That's how
Mm,
bad it was. In fact, for a while, his father had to leave and move to our Arizona and live for a little period of time and then send for his family there.
mm,
And then they returned back to Arkansas because of work. But with that said, my dad moved here in 49 of 1949 from Arkansas. He met my mom at a church function, and the rest is history, as they say. And we were known as his two girls, his wife and myself. And speaking of my dad, when my mom took so sick, and in the latter years, I'm skipping all around because I'm
mhm.
going off the top of my head, so forgive me.
That's okay.
Um, but speaking of my dad, when my mom had taken so ill and the doctors had really given her up, basically, and we kind of had, as a family, tried to just keep her comfortable and that type of thing. One particular night, while my mother was in the hospital, if anything happened during the night that they needed my family members to come, they were supposed to call my brother. Well, they did not call my oldest brother. They called my dad about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. My mother was cutting up. So my dad got up and went to the hospital. He stayed there all day. By the time my youngest brother and myself got off of work and went to visit with my mom, the nurse had told us, "Oh, your dad's been here all night and all morning, all day." I'm like, "Really?" So came time for visiting hours to be over, and we had told my dad, "Okay, now, Dad, you got to go home when visiting hours, because you've been here all day. You got to be tired." "Oh, yeah, 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 yeah." So my brother and I, and see, my mom was acting up, so we weren't going to tell her goodbye. We was going to just say, "Mom, I'll be back, okay," and just kind of go out the room
Mhm.
so she would stay calm. And so it was time for my dad. Me and my brother had got up and left the room, and we're standing in the hallway, and we're saying, "Come on, Dad, come on, Dad," like begging him for him to come. He comes out for a second. He said, "Well, y'all go ahead. Y'all go home. I'm gonna stay a little longer." I said, "No, no." And my brother was working for FedEx. He was a driver, of semi truck, semi truck, and all that. He said, "Dad, if you don't go home with us, then I'm not gonna go to work tomorrow." But my dad was a stickler. Two things my dad was a stickler for, and that was school and work. If you had a
Mm,
job, you get up and go to work. My dad went to work many days not feeling well.
mhm.
Long story short, not so short. My dad said to me and my brother, standing there in the hallway, he said, "I promised to take care of her. I promised to take care of her." Marcus, that brought me almost to tears
Yeah.
because I said, I told him, I said, "Dad, nobody can say you haven't taken care of your wife. Nobody can say that. I mean, you bent over backwards." My mother said, "Boo, what you want, Jeanette? What you want?" And that's how he was with us. I'm probably a heavy set girl because of my dad. My dad had all kind of goodies that he kept around the house all the time. Um, Friday and Saturday was our whatever you want to eat night, and it just got out of hand. And here I am. My dad would he would be gone for work during the week, so we didn't see him. But on the weekend, him and my mom would come in the rooms and wake us up and tickling and all that kind of carrying on. Um, so many things I can think back to. My dad was just very comical. He was very talkative. I don't think he ever met a stranger. Uh, you start talking to my dad, you probably had to finally tell him, "Okay, bro, Cole, I gotta go," because he could talk. And I was talking to my youngest brother not about 2 days ago, and we were reminiscing how all the holidays, like Fourth of July, Memorial Day, and Labor Day, when my brothers got of age and moved away, everybody would still come back to the house to barbecue. My dad and my brothers and my grandfather would be out on the pit, and each one do they meet, and they just sat out there and made it morning, ritual that they would do every holiday in the summer months, and Labor Day being the last of the three.
Mhm.
And it was just something that they did every year. And so much fun we had growing up. My dad never denied us anything, as far as if he could see his way to get it. And then I'm gonna just say, Marcus, the biggest thing I thank God for my parents was it wasn't just the buy type of mentality. It was from the material side. It was the genuine love that they showed,
Mhm.
and the care that they gave us. Um, sometimes people feel like they can pacify you if they buy you something,
Mhm.
but there's no price tag on love and joy that you get from your family, your parents, and I remember how when I was first diagnosed with this condition that I have, and I was hospitalized up in Ann Arbor, and my parents would drive back up and forth up there like it was just around the corner. And I think at this time in my life, I think about those times. I say, Lord, if my parents were still here, I wouldn't have nothing to worry about because I know they would be right here with me.
Mhm.
And that's just the kind of family I grew up in. So I love my dad very much. My mom, I love very much, and I miss them both terribly. But I thank God that I had such great memories growing up in the Cole family. We weren't rich by no means, but we were so much richer with the love that my father and mother shared with us, and the joy that we had in our hearts and in our home. And those things I cherish the most.
Yeah.
So,
I want to get you if you can just shift. Norma Joke is saying thank you for sharing, and I'm getting likes and stuff from people in the comments. But shift that camera one more time. I know you just don't want us to see you.
I
I know you
know
want us to see you.
I'm in the nursing home and I just look horrible.
Well,
See,
your horrible might be cute to somebody, but that's another day.
no,
Uh,
that's enough.
slide a
I,
little bit because I want to ask you this one question. If
mm-hmm.
what because what you have said, I think kind of
Is that
summarized your
better?
parents really that's exactly how I wanted you. Your parents modeled out for you lessons. Sometimes people teach lessons, but people live lessons. Your parents lived work ethic.
Well,
They
they live
lived
by example. They live by their
right.
example. For
So here's
instance,
the
my,
question I
my
want to
mom
ask
and
you.
dad. Okay, go ahead.
I want to ask you, what's the lesson, the greatest lesson that you feel like they taught you that you think that other people should know? What's the greatest lesson, especially your dad? What's the greatest lesson he taught you?
Um, right off the top of my head, your word is your bond.
Mm, mm,
Um, my dad once told me, if you're not, and this was dealing at that particular day, this was dealing with church work and
mhm,
choirs and playing the organ or playing
mhm,
for church.
mhm,
And he said, if you're not doing it, um, well, he actually said, so it's not really your word is your bond, it's something else. Maybe you can help me. He
okay,
actually said, if you're not doing it because you love God,
mhm,
then don't do it.
mm,
Okay. He said, because you become bitter. And, and so if you're just doing it for the money, then don't do it.
mm,
And also, again, I'll go back and he would say, him and my mom both would say, your word is your bond. If you told somebody you was going to do something,
mhm,
do it.
mhm,
Keep your word. If you
mhm,
don't do nothing else, if something comes up that you can't, and the other thing was that you always you always leave a situation, a job, or a situation where if you have to go back to it, you can.
mm,
So those were two things that just stick right off the bat.
mhm,
My mom and dad were known as Mama Cole and Papa Cole, and it was because so many young people that we grew up with, um, be it at church, or my church or our friends in our neighborhood. I didn't hang too much with my school friends, but my friends on the block, Um, and my church friends. My parents were known as Mama and Mama Cole and Papa Cole because you could sit down and talk to my parents. They were all both very down to earth, and I don't think it was anything that you could not discuss with them.
Mhm.
Um, and you wasn't going to hear it all over the city, whatever. My dad helped to nurture guys that didn't have father figures in their lives. Taught guys. He see a guy with the wife struggling with the baby, holding the baby, trying to carry the baby bag and trying to get the baby ready for to go out in the elements. And the man would the father would be somewhere talking and running his mouth. One in particular I'm thinking of right now off the top of my head. And my dad told him, so get over there with your wife and help her with that baby. That's your baby too. So it was life lessons like that my
Mhm.
dad would, teach us and whatnot. And how to be a gentleman and take care of your wives.
Mhm.
And he led again by example.
Mhm.
Um, my dad was a very um, easygoing person.
Mhm.
In fact, I don't recall him actually whipping us. My dad would mainly talk to us. Now, we might have wanted to just go on and take the whipping so we didn't have to hear the talk, but he mainly talked to us, and my mother beat us. So that was a combination, but my dad was very mild mannered. It would take a lot to make him angry. When he got angry, you knew it. I never seen my dad angry as he was when my youngest brother Reggie and our bikes got stolen, and the cops had brought us home. We were up on we lived on Broad Street. We was all the way up on Linwood, and if you had to know, Dexter Broad Street is between Dexter and Livernois. So we had
Mhm.
gone over a friend's house that lived across Dexter,
Mhm.
and from her house we drove all the way up near Central and riding our bikes around Central High School and that kind of thing. And so we got thirsty. And the last thing my mother had told us, they was going off somewhere. Last thing my mother had told us that day was, "Don't get off the bikes." My brother had bought us 2 10 speeds. Now, if I'm dating myself, 10 speeds was the bike of that time. I'm about to say
Yeah.
century, but that
Yeah.
was the top bike for kids to have. And my brother, he worked in the plat factory, and he got older. He bought both of us a brand new bike. Last thing my mother said, "Don't y'all get off them bikes. Don't you? Well, you riding around. It's hot summertime. You finally get to where you like, oh man, this it's hot. I'm thirsty." So we went in the store. I told my little brother to stay out and watch the bikes, right? He come running in the store. Carol, holding his eye. Carol, somebody is stolen our bikes. 2 big guys had knocked him off the bike and took our bikes. So we like, oh man. So we trying to find them. Wind up walking back to my friend's house, calling the police. Police took us home. When we got home, my parents weren't home. And so when they got home, we was sitting on the grass, and my mom and dad said, "Oh, y'all came back early." We said, "Yeah, got something to tell you." My mother was like, "Okay, I'm gonna beat you." My dad, I had never seen my dad this angry. My dad went in the house. Now my dad didn't have no kind of weapon. He goes in the kitchen and get the sharpest knife he can find. Takes my brother back up in that area, looking all trying to find these guys. Now, if he had found them, I don't know what he would have done with this little knife from the kitchen. So they come back, no bike, not seeing the guys nowhere in sight. So next thing I know, my mother said, "Okay, you both go on in the room, take them clothes off." My mother beat us to death.
Oh,
Needless to say, I haven't been on too many more times on a bike since then. But it was just, I mean, that's just one story I'm thinking about right off the top of my head. But
I love
it
it.
was
I
about as
love it.
angry as I saw. That's about as angry as I ever saw my dad.
Yeah.
Well, he was ready to cut somebody that day.
Wow. And that's what dads will do when their children are being hurt or bothered by somebody else. Carol Cole, thank you so much for coming on live with me.
Okay.
This is a great testament to your dad. Thank
You
you so
owe
much.
me. You
I owe
owe
you big
me for
time.
this just showing my face.
I owe you big time for seeing your whole face. Yes, I do. I love you
Happy
much.
Father's Day. You are like a father to so many too. So happy Father's Day to you and
Thank
to
you
all
so
the
much.
fathers that out there that's listening. Take care, Marcus.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
That was awesome. Carolyn Cole, esteemed and incomparable musician, sharing about her mom and Pop Coles, her parents, who were accomplished musicians, and hearing the stories about her dad, how he lived the example and taught lessons, but he lived those lessons. Give us some likes and loves if you can relate to that. If you had a father and or mother who lived out those lessons before you, and don't you feel that you should pass those lessons on? I am so thankful that we've had her to join us. We're going to go to, I think, our next to last tribute. We're going to Memphis, Tennessee, and we're going to share with you a tribute from Jared Boyd, who is uh, an outstanding young man, and I'm excited to share the tribute from him to you.
What's going on, Love and Stuff family? It's Jared JB Boyd here in Memphis, Tennessee. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I've been thinking and reflecting, as I do often, about my father and his influence over me. I have part of his name. I think I have a lot of his spirit, a lot of his joy, and his smile. And it just means a lot to me just to have a father, just to have people in my life, men who I can relate to. When my father passed not long ago, I really meditated and asked God for more black men in my life, not to fill a void, but to supplement just my confidence and my knowledge, and to ground and center me on the journey that I was moving forward with, because I realized how much my father instilled in me, and that there would be some of that missing. And so, I like to think not only about my father, but about the people who were already in my life, who were already in certain spaces, at church or at school or in extracurricular activities or in the band or, wherever. I thought about how I could be vulnerable enough to just ask for their help. And so, I like to really give credence and give gratitude, not to just fathers, but all men, because there's so many brothers, there's so many cousins, there's so many uncles, so many people who are just a friend who can step in and say, I see what you're doing, and I'm here, I'm behind you, I'm here to help, I'm here to support, I'm here to give you and provide you with whatever you need to get to the journey. So there should be more of that. And I appreciate my cousin Marcus, because he's a person who does that for me and is among an entire tribe of men and a network of people who might not know each other, but they are on this journey with me as I continue to strive forward as a human being, as a professional, as a brother, as a man. So happy Father's Day to everyone. And I don't know, man, I can't wait till I can be a father, because fathers matter and fathers are important. So peace to you. Enjoy the holiday, and see you soon.
I'm standing here today to testify of how much you care. those memories will linger on. Makaan kufa taon, uria solo suli nau, anasikana na afetaya nauki, oya biya bisuli nau, o makaan kutangon, sido flama bailia, yenako fa baita oitara ena. Thank you, Lord, for everything, for the good times that we shared. I'm pushing stronger because of you. You're the best among the rest. Thank you, Lord, for shaping my life. You pick me up when I am down. Lord, I want to say that I love you. Nenako fa baita oitara ena. Maka aku tango oi. Yes I do, yes I wanna say. Maka aku tango oi. Yes I do, and I wanna say. Maka aku tango oi.
Beautifully done by the cheerers. Round of applause for a wonderful, wonderful event. Just as I promised at the beginning, as we get to a close, I want to thank all of you who have come, all of those that have shared their personal testimonies, their personal experiences with their dads. Thank you so much. And I hope that it has inspired somebody whose dad may still be around to pick up the phone if you haven't already, to stop by if you haven't already, just if your greeting is as short as Ulysses, or maybe is as impassioned as Ivo's, or it's from the heart like everybody else's. Share that with your dad and then share it with others who might just need to know that there is still power in relationships and power in relationships with fathers. Well, we mentioned at the outset that there are people who have either recently lost or in recent years have lost their dad. And so we wanted to close with a tribute to those dads, just to let them all know that we're thinking about them and thinking about you. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I hope that you will click share and tag someone. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am going to enjoy the rest of my day and thinking on all of the memories of my dad and thinking on all of those sayings that had to do with what I said earlier, you are just like everybody else. You put your pants on one leg at a time, and that means you're as good as anybody else. And be clean, be neat, go to work on time, wash your tail, even though tail isn't the word that he would use, I must admit. And so many other sayings, of which I will close my day, I think, with a post just in celebration to him. But I wanted to give the opportunity for everybody in the Love and Stuff community to know that we celebrate dads. We may not have spent $28 billion as it was estimated that was spent last month for Mother's Day, even in a pandemic. But we can spend quality time and quality moments reflecting on the power, the life, the lessons, the demonstrations of dads that made a difference, and where there might have been the absence of a dad, how you were inspired to be present for your children. Kudos to you. A lot of commendations to you all. So whether you're watching us on LinkedIn Live or IG Live, on Twitch TV, YouTube events, or Facebook Live on the Marcus R. Holmes page, or in the Love and Stuff community page from which we emanate today, we want to say Happy Father's Day to all. And thank you so much for joining us and being with us.